the collagen we build when we take steroids is stiffer and more brittle. So the tendons that we build when we're taking the steroids, they have a lower load tolerance. So we really get this mismatch of stronger muscles, but weaker tendons that can't handle the load as well. We're going to Poland to do steroids.
Nice. It was about time.
It is, isn't it? Sometimes I feel like you and I, we should get experience with the weight loss drugs and with steroids.
Preferably at the same time.
Yeah. And this is a bit related to the topic of steroids, because now with the weight loss drugs, with the initial wave of them, there was in my opinion, not entirely founded, but there was a concern of loss of fat-free mass. But that happens with all weight loss, and you can counter it with exercise, damn it. But now there's more research into muscle maintenance drugs or even muscle gain drugs, and they kind of shine the light on how incredibly blunt anabolic steroids are. You want one outcome, which is muscle gain, and I suppose in some cases strength gain, but you are using this super blunt tool that affects like half of the stuff in your body and most of the things you don't want out of those outcomes. You only want the muscle gains and strength affection. You don't want the implications on your cardiovascular health or your endocrine system or any of that. So it's like using a hand grenade to weed your garden, kind of.
I've listened to some interviews through the years with the old bodybuilders that have stopped giving a fuck and actually talked about all the regimens they were on. And a majority of the drugs they take is to counteract the side effects of the main drugs. Like blood pressure and never mind. But it's a circus for your body.
Yeah. I kind of get more issues with steroids the older I get, and I also give less fucks if someone perceives me as, I don't know, old and grumpy. And one of the other things that bugs me is that in my experience, or as far as I know, it's used more among young men who haven't yet landed in their values and matured, so they're using it before they really, they think they're gonna get something from it, but it's not what they get. They want some fulfillment or goal to be reached, and that's not it.
It's like the old saying, youth is wasted on the young.
Definitely. Now let's get into what this little paper was. This was kind of an overview, but in actuality, it's a narrative review, which is kind of a nerdy name for an article in a research paper. But unlike, say, meta-analysis, there are no criteria for what to include. So it's kind of the authors just pick to include whatever studies they feel suit their case.
It's more of a vibe study. Or
yeah. And this one was titled Impact of Anabolic Steroids on Tendons, a Narrative Review. So obviously all of these different derivatives of testosterone, they increase your protein synthesis, so you form more muscle protein, and they also decrease the protein breakdown. But they have many more effects, and the one that they highlights in this study is the effect on collagen, which is what we build our tendons out of. We talked about this a while back. I don't remember the numbers, but like 90% of our tendons is collagen or something like that. 10% of our muscles and like 30% of our skeleton is collagen. So it's a protein that is, elastic and good to use as scaffolding in our bodies.
It's not one of the essential amino acids.
No, it's not. It's not. So, and they write in this little review that elite bodybuilders are overrepresented in tendon rupture injuries, where the tendons are ripped from the bone or just rips in half. And I suppose anyone who uses Instagram or have taken a peek at YouTube, they have seen some clips where often bodybuilders or huge strong men, they get these tears. We can see pec tears in the bench press, but we can see bicep tears and tricep tears, lats, quads, hamstrings. There are many muscles with this type of tendons where it's fairly common to see it, but we almost never see it in like natural, meaning non-steroid using gym goers. It's very rare in those. In the cases we see it, it's more like in certain high-impact sports, like we can see Achilles tendons rip off. But even in those cases, we don't know how often steroids are involved. So anyway, they make the case that anabolic steroids greatly increase the risk of this type of tendon injuries. And we have, like, this has been known, or this has been a hypothesis in this field for quite some time, and you and I have probably talked about it, but it's almost always been about the fact that, well, when you take steroids, your muscle grows really fast, faster than your tendons does. So when that really strong muscle is working, and the tendon haven't kept up because it doesn't change as fast, that increases your risk of a tendon rupture. But what was news to me in this review is that steroids increase tendon rupture risk by weakening collagen structure and elasticity. And they write that collagen isn't formed, or we don't build it as well when we take extra testosterone or derivatives of it. The collagen we build when we take steroids is stiffer and more brittle. So the tendons that we build when we're taking the steroids, they have a lower load tolerance. So we really get this mismatch of stronger muscles, but weaker tendons that can't handle the load as well.
That's a recipe for a disaster.
Yeah, bad news for bodybuilders, strongmen who also use it to some extent, of course. I don't mean that every bodybuilder or every strongman use it, but like at the elite level among the steroid users.
Lots of power lifters as well.
Yeah, this is bad news. And it's bad news for athletes who maybe don't care at all about looking swole. They just want to perform better, but they might greatly increase their risk of injury.
Yeah. But no athletes would ever cheat using steroids.
Especially Swedish ones.
Especially,
we are stand-up people.
Yeah, we're so moral.
Yeah, there were some results from surveys done, and in this paper, and one of the surveys was among Swedish. Was it teenagers? No, just young adults. Yeah, and the prevalence of steroid use was 3% in that cohort, and that's basically all men. Pretty much no women. The numbers seem to be the same in America and like in other places, and that number increases when you account for those who have used steroid like once or so,
or plan to use steroids,
but around 1 in 30 seems to use it. But when I think about that number, I imagine that many of those, there are people who like buy one packet of pills and use it once and never again. Like if you were to take a similar survey of how many people strength train, and then you look at how many of those people are actually doing effective strength training, I mean, there's like the number doesn't capture like the whole, those who are like using it a ton, so to say.
And also when you do questionnaires like this, you can also take for granted that even if it's anonymous, some people will lie.
That too.
So I would guess the number is higher.
Oh, who knows, man?
Except for in Sweden, because we're perfect, flawless.
Yeah, something like that. So, bit of interesting thing makes me even less interested in using steroids.
My body is broken in so many ways, but I've never had a tendon rupture or tear, which is nice. I've been worried about my Achilles tendons through the years because I'm a heavy guy and I'm still quite active and I'm getting older. And I watch football, NFL, where this shit happens all the time to older athletes. And that would suck.
Yeah, be hard to walk your 10 kilometers.
It would. It would. I think I'm going to break my streak on Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to get my 10 kilometers in on Christmas Day or something. But yeah, never mind.
The day after is nice.
This makes me less inclined to try steroids. I probably wouldn't anyway.
No, me neither. I mean, there's a part of me that's like curious in it, but then like my job is to, kind of show training to everyone who follows us, and I wouldn't be able to convey that as well to everyone not using steroids if I'm on a different playing field. So
yeah, but that would change the day you started doing steroids, because the human brain is great at cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
So the day you start, all your old values go out the door, and you'll find the excuses for what you're doing is correct.
I'm just working harder.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I'm thinking back to when we talked about the study on weight loss with testosterone treatment or the weight loss drugs, and the group that got the weight loss drugs saw better improvements in their testosterone levels than the one that got the TRT treatment.
Yeah,
that was a tautology because the last T is for treatment.
It's okay.
And I've been thinking a lot about that, because if you had asked me a year ago, I was probably like, yeah, but I'm going to turn 50 in 5 years. I'm overweight. Maybe I'll go on TRT in the future if a doctor says I need it. But now I'm way more interested in that case in going on fat loss drugs, because that will vastly improve my testo levels without having to take.
Exactly.
So... yeah.
Go back and find that episode if you're interested in this topic. It's titled something like weight loss versus testosterone or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it was quite recent. I can try to link it in the show notes, and it was quite popular, that episode. People liked it.